Yo people, wagwan, welcome back to Ron's Tech Hub, and today I'm going to be showing you the performance I get when using my OpenMediaVault servers on a mini PC versus a Raspberry Pi. Now I do have to say the Raspberry Pi I have only has a 4 gigabytes of RAM, but that shouldn't affect it too much because I'm not doing crazy things. I'm going to try my very best to show power consumption. On the left hand side I have my mini PC, and on the right hand side I have my Raspberry Pi 5. The picture isn't as clear for the mini PC as it is for the Raspberry Pi, but this is fresh boot, not even logged into the web UI, nothing. The mini PC on the left gives me 8 watts and the Raspberry Pi on the 5 gives me 5 watts. So not a big difference, but significant enough for these low power devices. After logging into the web UI, the mini PC on the left goes up to 8.3 watts and the Raspberry Pi 5 on the right goes up to 5.4 watts. So again, very tiny increases here. And finally, when I started a transfer, I think I transferred a folder which had multiple files of about 8 to 10 gigabytes. The mini PC on the left came up with 13.8 watts, and the Raspberry Pi surprisingly only stayed at around 7 or 8 watts. On this recording here, it only came up as 7.1. Both the Raspberry Pi 5 and the mini PC are doing really well. I think personally, the Raspberry Pi won the last round simply because it's doing exactly the same job with less power, and whilst transferring files, it was using half the amount of power. The deciding factors for most people will probably be a combination of power and transfer speeds. I'm going to test the transfer speed by transferring a folder from my desktop to both the mini PC and to the Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to be using the built-in Windows File Explorer. On the left-hand side, I'm going to open the mini PC, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to open the Raspberry Pi. So if I have now copied the folder from my desktop, I'm going to click on the mini PC on the left and do Control V to paste it and see what speeds we get. So I'm getting roughly 100 to 114 megabytes per second. Very respectable speeds for me. Mini PC completely finished. That took roughly a minute and 20 seconds. I'm going to do exactly the same thing now with the Raspberry Pi 5. Copied my folder. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to paste, and the speeds I'm getting are exactly the same, 112-ish to 114-ish megabytes per second. It's saying a minute and 15 seconds now, so it's exactly the same speed as a mini PC. What does that mean? That means the Raspberry Pi 5 is probably the winner if you're somebody who wants to tinker with stuff later on. So keep in mind, the Raspberry Pi is a credit card sized computer that can fit in your pocket. You can do many electronics projects with it, whereas a mini PC is just a tiny PC in a shell. You can't do as much with it, but you have the benefit of buy one of these things on eBay. It's 50, 60, 70 pounds. I think I got mine for 50 from a friend of mine, and it just has everything: power supply, storage, RAM, everything's already there. I didn't need to do anything. I plugged it in, turned it on, and installed what I needed to install on it straight away. With a Raspberry Pi, you're going to need a Raspberry Pi, you're going to need a power supply, a memory card, you're going to need a cooling fan, you're going to need probably the Raspberry Pi case. So it's not as easy or as cheap to get working. However, you will save that money back in power because it's literally using half the power to give me more or less the same performance. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I do have more videos coming on my home cloud. I think next I'm going to install TrueNAS, and I'm going to also install Casa OS. So stay tuned, like and subscribe.